butterflies in my stomach. Can we use this idiom when we are happy, or should it be only when we are tensed? Okay, is it positive or negative? Usually when we are talking about a feeling of a feeling of euphemism, okay, a feeling of something that you usually feel butterflies in your stomach when how to put it in a good way, when someone compliments you, or the person you like, or the crush of yours talks back to you, or something that you did not expect to happens with you, okay, and it is a feeling of euphemism. It is usually used in the positive sense and not just in the negative. Some people do. It is a sense of excitement, okay, so you can feel excitement in positive as well as in negative case, but butterflies in the stomach is usually used for in a positive note, not in a tense note itself, okay. Choose the option that expresses the meaning of the given phrase. Catch 22. I think this is very important and we have done it many times. It basically means a paradox. Okay, I hope all of you understand what is a paradox. Situation which is complicated and is true in both ways, can neither be true nor be false. Okay, so what is the meaning of catch 22? It is a paradoxical situation from which a person cannot escape. Okay, and why can't the person escape from such a situation? Because it is a contradiction. Oh God. Because of the contradictory rules. Alright. So that is the meaning of catch 22. So which one would be the right answer? Will it be fortify, besiege, clear, dilemma, seize the opportunity? Which one? Dilemma. Yes. Option 4. Turn a Nelson's eye. Okay, it is also known as turn a blind eye. I will tell you, I think I have told you about this. I am not sure. Turn a blind eye or turn a Nelson's eye. Okay, what is the meaning? It means ignore something, okay? Ignore something or pretend that it is not happening. Sorry. Okay, now the doubt is not actually this. The doubt is, madam, please along with the answer enlighten me on how these idioms were born. Okay, so let's discuss about catch 22. Catch 22 was first coined, the term was first coined by Joseph Heller in his novel called Catch 22. Okay, and in 1961. Okay, and it is a very interesting sort of story in which okay, so it talks about during the World War times, World War II, there were a lot of rules that were imposed on soldiers. Okay, so and these rules were very paradoxical. Okay, for example, so there was this situation where this man does not want to fly anymore. He was in the Air Force and he did not want to fly anymore, and he wanted to get out of it. Okay, and he did not want to do any more rounds of flying. Okay, so what he does is he goes and searches for the rule, and if he applies for the rule, if he has to declare himself mentally unfit to fly, he has to probably file something, okay, or write a document. And once he does that, the rule says that if you are filing a document on your own, then you are not mentally unfit. That means you are mentally fit to fly. Okay, so this was the paradox. So the novel goes very interestingly like this. So the person asks him, what's the catch? So the catch is catch 22. That means the rule catch 22 is a rule which says that this is the situation. Okay, so a paradoxical situation where he cannot be unfit and he has to be fit, okay, to fly. Ashok, the answer would be yes, I have read that novel. And do you read that novel is not the right question. Did you read the novel should be the right question. Okay, so this is where it came from. If you want to read it, it is a very nice novel. It is all about the different rules that were implied on these people and were outrageous rules. Okay, so that is the meaning of the phrase catch 22, which is a paradoxical situation where you cannot be the situation cannot be resolved. Okay, so it is that. Yes, couldn't escape. Yes, so he had to fly. Okay, now the next one. Now this one, turn a blind eye, or Nelson's eye, was framed because of who was Nelson? He was Admiral Horatio Nelson. Okay, and Nelson was blinded in one eye in his Navy career. Okay, that he was into the Navy, and what happened is he had got an instruction from his senior commandant that they should retreat. Okay, and he did not want to retreat. He thought that it is not the right time to retreat, so he just put the telescope. They used to communicate by holding up flags. Okay, so the flag that was shown to him was to retreat. Okay, but he just put the telescope on, the binocular on. No, it was not a binocular, it was a monocular, or whatever it is called, the single piece. So he turned it on his blinded side of eye, and he said something on the lines of, no, this is not Nelson Mandela. We are not talking about Nelson. Guys, we are not talking about Nelson Mandela. We are talking about Admiral Horatio Nelson. Okay, so he turned the monocular on the eye that was blinded, and he said, even I get the opportunity, or I also have the opportunity of being blind sometimes, something like that, where he ignored the orders of his superior, and finally the superior was fired and he took his position where he won and things like that. Okay, so just that is the meaning of turn a Nelson's eye. Okay, turn Nelson's eye, or we also call it turn a blind eye. So a lot of stories, very interesting stories that have both of them, catch 22 as well as turn a blind eye, both have very interesting stories. Which is right answer, madam? I'm confused among trusted, honest and true. Okay, now above board, what is the meaning of above board? Being above board a plan, or it can also be a decision. Okay, or a deal. Okay, it means it is honest and not trying to deceive. Anyone. Okay, so words that come along with the phrase is honesty, openness and sincerity. Alright, so that is the meaning of above board. So we are not talking, okay, he's confused between trusted and honest. Okay, the question is not whether someone can be trusted on, are you above board with this. That does not mean can I trust you with this. It means are you honest with whatever you are saying. Okay, so it is not the question of integrity of something, it is the question of being honest or not. Okay, so honesty, sincerity and openness. So the word honest itself is there, so the answer will be honest and not trusted. All right, so the right answer is option 3, honest. Please explain the usage of phrases like only after, only when, only by, not until, only if. Now, so let me explain all these phrases using examples. Okay, so let's start with only after. So what is only after? Now, what he is referring to, what Shubham is referring to, I believe he is referring to starting a statement with only after, or with only when, only by, not until and only if. Okay, so this is what I think he's referring to. So what is the meaning of only after? Only after means only okay, when one action is done, then the condition, the next action will follow. Okay, so only after this is done, I will do this. So it is again conditional. Okay, so let's see the examples of only after. Only after dinner you can sleep. Okay, now if we have to, this is what we are starting the statement with. Now if I have to put it in the somewhere in the middle, you can also write it this way. Okay, you can only sleep after dinner. Got it? So what happens over here is now in this case what happens, the subject and the auxiliary verb are inverted. You can see it in this example. Only after dinner you can sleep. Now where is the subject? Here. Okay, only after dinner you can sleep. Now see how it is completely interchanged. Okay, so when you are writing it in where only is used separately, only and after is used separately, what do? You can only sleep after dinner. Got it? Now another example. Let's take the example of only by. Okay, so only by thinking can you solve this puzzle. Okay, so what will be the if we put it in somewhere in the middle, you can only solve this puzzle by thinking. Okay, Jay Mulli is asking, could we write it like this? So, only after dinner can you sleep? Yes, we can write it that way as well. Like I've done in the next statement, only by thinking can you solve this puzzle. Okay? Can solve this puzzle. Okay. I heard in a movie, only then will we triumph. Yeah. It is absolutely fine, generally. You can. Okay, now let's see only if. Only if everybody comes home, would and I. See, again the position is changed. Got it? Would I accept this position? Or only if, oh god. Would I celebrate my birthday? Alright, so only if everybody comes home, would I celebrate my birthday? Alright, and again, if we change it into the form that we usually write it in, I would only celebrate my birthday if everybody comes home. All right, now next one we have done 3. Next one is, we have done only if, we have done only by, we have done only after. Now only when. Now there's only then as well. I will give example of that later if someone needs it. Only when. Only when he needed coffee did he call me. Okay, so, and the other form would be he only called me when he needed coffee or some coffee. Okay, so this is on only when, only if, and only by, and only after. Okay, so only when is also done. Now only not until is left. Okay, so I'll write another example for not only. Okay. Not until I filled my glass. Now again, did I notice that it was broken? Okay, so not until is also done. Alright, so this is how you're supposed to use it if it is the starting phrase of the statement. Other than that, if they are not used together, the pair of words are not used together, then you can write it in the same manner that you always write. If there is only an after, or only an if, only when, only then, and not until, then what do? You change the subject and the auxiliary verb's position. Okay, so the auxiliary verb comes before the subject. Okay. This one was posted by Sony. Sony, your question is going to be the last question. Yes. In cold blood, what does it mean? Does it mean angrily, deliberately, excitedly, or slowly? Which of these best expresses in cold blood? It would be better if you guys give an example and explain. I think we have discussed this idiom before, in cold blood. So basically, in cold blood means in a cruel, calm way, okay? Basically showing no emotions, but intentional, definitely intentional, okay? So here, none of these are the meaning of the word, meaning of the idiom, but best expresses, it cannot be angrily because there is no emotion involved in this. It cannot be excitedly, again no emotions. Slowly, again it does not talk about the pace of how the person has killed. It talks about whether it was intentional or not intentional, okay? So deliberately, yes, would be the right answer. Not slowly, not angrily, deliberately, without showing any emotion, without having any kind of sympathy for the person, or having any kind of emotion. Anger is another emotion as well, so it will not be angrily, it cannot be excitedly, and it cannot be slowly, okay? Because someone who kills someone else in cold blood not necessarily does it in like slowly, okay? So basically it should be, we can also say, okay, he murdered the children in cold blood. He wanted to murder the children, so it was intentional. So that's why it will be deliberately and not angrily or slowly. Okay? Idiom is waste breath. Waste one's breath, okay? Waste your breath on someone, okay? Meaning is to say something that is likely to be ignored. Yes, that is the meaning of the word. Example, when you are unemployed, the word uttered by you is of waste breath. No, it's okay, is a waste, okay, I'll write it again, is a waste of breath. That's how it's used, okay? So when you are unemployed, the words uttered by you is a waste of breath, as in no matter what you say, it is undervalued, it's never given any importance, and it is likely to be ignored, okay? So that is the meaning of waste one's breath. So I'm not gonna waste my breath on explaining something to someone who's not even interested in listening. So that's how it is used. I'm not talking about myself, and yeah, people generally listen, so that would be the right usage.